Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another meal prep video. We're gonna have 2 lunches and a breakfast in this video. Really easy. You probably have a lot of similar items on hand that you may be able to just throw this together. So let's first start with one of the lunches, which is going to be partially a sheet pan meal plus one of the things, the pasta, I'll have to make separately. So I had this open box of Bonza pasta, so I'm just using the ziti. Use whatever kind of pasta you have on hand. Like I said, this one's already open, so going to use it. I had an open jar of Alfredo sauce in my refrigerator, so I'm going to go ahead and use that as well. But you could use red sauce, use whatever kind of sauce you'd like. I have some of this organic green zucchini and yellow squash I just picked up in my grocery haul today, so I'm going to put some of that on there, probably half, because I'm going to use the other half of that for a stir fry. I'm going to use 2 of these chicken sausages. You guys know these are my favorites. I'm going to throw 2 of these on the sheet pan. And then I just have some regular California style vegetables, which is just cauliflower, carrots, and a broccoli. So I'll season that with some seasoning. I'll show you the seasoning I'm going to use. So I'm going to put the veggies and the sausage on a sheet pan, cook the pasta separately. We'll put the Alfredo sauce on top after we're done when we assemble the bowls. So let's go ahead and get this going, and I'll show you all the different seasonings I'm going to use. First thing I did was weigh out 4 ounces of this pasta. I'm just going to cook this just to the directions on the box here, but I always weigh out the dry pasta, and then when it's all cooked, I'll weigh it out cooked, but then just split that in half for my 2 different bowls. So I have 1 sausage here and 1 over here. I wanted to keep them separate, that way I could track appropriately. I'm going to spray some cooking spray on the veggies. I have a half a bag of each of those vegetables. For spices, I'm just going to use good old-fashioned Lori seasoned salt, and then I'm going to do the buttery steakhouse from Kinder's and the roasted garlic salt from Kinder's. The sausage is really spicy already, has like a Cajun seasoning, and then the Alfredo is pretty bland, so I think I'm going to add all of these. So I'm just going to spray these, put those on there, and then this is going to go into a 375-degree oven for about 10-15 minutes, I think is all it's going to take to get these veggies cooked. I'll just keep an eye on them until they're nice and roasted. Pasta is cooked. I kind of overcooked it, forgot about it when I was working on other things. But it still tastes fine. So I'm going to measure out a 1/4 cup. I think that's the serving, right? Yes, a 1/4 cup of this, and just put it on the pasta. But when I eat this, I'll probably mix it all together. But for now, I'm just going to put it on the pasta side. I'm not going to heat it up before I put it on there, just because I'm going to heat this up when I have it for lunch. So I'm just going to do that. And again, you can use, this is a good way to use up sauce. So if you have some marinara sauce or any kind of pasta sauce, Alfredo sauce, you have anything like this in your refrigerator you need to use up, this is a great meal prep for this. Okay, the veggies are almost done. The sausage is almost done. When that's done, I'll go ahead and throw these together. Okay, here are our veggies and our sausage out of the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and put all the sausage, each 1 link. So one of these links are 5 points. So again, this is another, like, I think all of my stuff is a little bit higher point this week, except for that enchilada casserole, because the pasta is 4 points, the sausage is 5 points, and the Alfredo sauce is either 1 or 2. But I will have the points up on the screen when I show you the finished product. But we have a lot of protein between the pasta, because that's a protein pasta, and the meat. We have a lot of protein in this, which will keep us full. And I don't do a lot of snacking, so for me, it's okay to have a little bit higher point meals because I don't do a lot of snacking. But if you do, then you may want to substitute maybe the pasta for cauliflower rice or more veggies. You could do that as well instead of the pasta. There's a lot of things you can do. This is just supposed to give you guys just ideas, but of course make it to fit your plan. Here are our finished vegetable, sausage, I don't know what you call them. Our finished bowls, which look amazing, smell amazing. This will be a great lunch to have. Next lunch idea is going to be a chicken enchilada rice casserole. Now the original recipe I will have linked down below uses regular brown rice. I'm using cauliflower rice, which I already did. Put this in the microwave for about 5 minutes just to get it, nice and thawed out. Some chicken here I cooked in my Instant Pot. I just cooked it on high pressure for 15 minutes, let it natural release. I'll shred that up with a mixer, and then I'm going to use half of it in this meal and half of it in a chicken chili I'm going to make later in the week. You need a can of Rotel tomatoes, a can of black beans drained and rinsed. And then it's supposed to be a 15-ounce can of green enchilada sauce, but this is a pretty large bag of cauliflower rice. This is the 1 pound packages from Costco. So I'm going to use the whole can of this enchilada sauce. And then you need 1 cup of shreds or whatever cheese you use. I'm using the Mexican shreds. Half of this goes in the mix, the other half goes on top. I am going to be making either 3 or 4 of these. We'll see how many this actually turns into when I put it in my meal prep containers. I want to probably go for 3 is my plan, because I'm really bulking it up with this cauliflower rice. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do is 3. And then that gives me a meal every day this week, starting with Sunday. And I usually try to end my meal preps on Wednesday, but I will probably throw 1 of these in the freezer, and then that way I can pull it out. That's just my preference with how my meal preps taste. I feel like Wednesday is kind of my last day that I eat any meal preps, and then Thursday and Friday I eat leftovers from dinners and stuff throughout the week. But anyhow, let's go ahead and put this all together. You guys didn't know this little hack, you just take a mixer in your cooked chicken breast and just mix it up, and it shreds it just perfectly. Look at that. Just perfect shredded chicken. So again, I'm going to use half of this for this chicken and rice recipe and the other half for my chicken chili later in the week, which you guys will see that in my what I ate this week video. So I took out the other half of the chicken, which like I said, that's going to be saved for later in the week. I'm going to put in this whole bag of cauliflower rice first, because then I want to do some seasoning, because the chicken and the cauliflower rice are the blandest part of this. So I'm going to use some of the Kinder's The Blend, which is the salt, pepper, garlic. No fear, I have a humongous one up and I keep refilling with this one. So I buy it from Costco and I just keep refilling my small one here. But I do need to replenish my roasted garlic, which I think I got this at Grocery Outlet. Okay, I'm going to give this a good stir, and then I'm going to add in the rest of the ingredients. Now, normally with casseroles, you guys know I normally will weigh out the whole entire batch, but the only thing in this that really has points is the enchilada sauce, not a lot of points, and the cheese. But since I am really going to be, weighing out the cheese, I'm not going to worry about weighing this whole thing, because most of this is 0 points. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this up well before we add everything else in. Next up, we're going to do our black beans. I'm kind of trying to stir these as we go, because I probably should have grabbed a larger bowl. Our rotel. And I got the original. There is a mild rotel if you don't like it quite that spicy. I add this in here. I need to weigh out my cheese, and then we'll add that in last. I meant to mention too, you can use red enchilada sauce if you have that on hand. I like the green. So we have our 1 cup of cheese here. I'm going to put approximately half of it inside, then the other half will go on top after we cook it. And I won't put it back in the oven, because this is being meal prepped, so then the day I heat it up to have it for lunch or for dinner, then I will heat it up and melt the cheese on top. So it's not a lot of cheese. If you want more cheese, add more cheese. I feel like we don't need a whole lot because it has so much flavor. Okay, so this is ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and put this in our containers to put in the oven. Not if I can, with my angle of my tripod. So I did have a whole nother container left. So I'm gonna stick that in the freezer. I think it'll freeze really well. So I have 3 of them here. So I'm going to go and put this into a 375-degree oven. We're going to cook them for about 20 minutes or so. I mean, everything's cooked. It's really just to get all those flavors together and to make it nice and cheesy and bubbly. And then we'll put the cheese on top, and then we'll be done until it's time to cook off on the day I have it for dinner. So let me kind of give you a close-up view here. So this is before the oven, and then I'll show you what they look like when they come out. Here we have our finished chicken enchilada bowls. Again, you can do so many different things with these. You could use the red enchilada sauce. You could use regular brown rice, a mixture of brown rice and cauliflower rice, which is I wish I would have done that with everything else being pretty low points. I wish I would have mixed them, because I do like to do that. I think I'll do that next time if I really like this recipe. It's the first time I'm trying this, but I will definitely let you know what I think. And I will have the original one down in the description box. Okay, I'm eating my lunch. Wanted to give you a little update on the chicken enchilada rice. Now, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about this, and then continue on the rest of the meal prep video, so don't miss out on the rest of it. But I did want to break in and just give you a little tip, because mine ended up being a little bit too watery. And I think it's because of the cauliflower rice, because it can be very watery. There's a couple things, I want to give you a couple tips on how to make it not so watery that I should have thought about. One being, you could really squeeze all the liquid out of the bag. If you did it like I did with the microwave bag, you could just cut a little hole, squeeze it until all the moisture comes out, maybe lay it out and let it dry out a little bit. You could put it into a skillet and just kind of cook it up, and it'll get the moisture out. Or you could take like paper towels and just kind of squeeze it till all the moisture is out. Or you could do what I ended up doing, and that is substituting half brown rice. So I had these little cups in my pantry. This is the minute brown rice, ones you just stick in the microwave. I believe these cups are like 5 points, maybe 6 points. I haven't scanned it yet, so I'm not positive. But I ended up taking one of these cups and heating it up, pouring it into a bowl, and then putting about half of that rice and chicken enchilada rice mixture on top of it, and then it was perfect. So I really think this recipe would benefit from having half rice and half cauliflower rice. You still wouldn't have as many points, because if you did half the amount of rice, I think like a cup of brown rice is typically 6 points. So if you did half of that, you'd end up with like 3 points worth of brown rice in there. And then only other thing you're counting is just that enchilada sauce, which I don't think is too much when you're stretching it, and then the cheese that you put in there. So I just wanted to give you guys that tip before you guys moved on and made it yourself, because I think it would benefit from having some rice in there. It just came out a little bit too liquidy for me, I think, because of the cauliflower rice, the enchilada sauce, and the rotel all have liquid, and I think that's what caused it. But I didn't want you guys to be disappointed without giving you a couple little pointers to make it a little bit better. Okay, now on to the rest of the meal prep. Last thing I'm going to put together is going to be some yogurt bowls using this granola. I tried it, it's really good. It is 6 points, so this will be a higher point breakfast, because it'll be 2 points with the yogurt. Because if you did not know, the 000 Oikos yogurt is now 2 points. It used to be 1, but they changed their formula, so now it's 2 points. So this will be 8 points for my yogurt, which that's okay. I think it'll be okay. I usually end up with quite a few points left over at the end of the day, so I think we can make it work. But anyhow, I wanted to try this granola, which I did, and it's really good. So I'm going to show you these containers that I bought at Walmart that kind of inspired me to do this. These containers, these are ones I use for my protein pudding, but they also come with this neat little thing you stack on top. So you put your yogurt in or whatever, and then you can put your granola on top there, and then just put your lid on, and then that way your yogurt doesn't get soggy. And I do find that as long as my yogurt is not hitting any moisture, doesn't get soggy, even putting it in the refrigerator, which is fine with me because I make, parfaits and stuff sometimes that I have granola in there and it gets a little bit soggy, but that I don't mind. And then I'll just put some strawberries, I'll layer some strawberries on top, put this lid on there, and we are good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get my scale out because I want to weigh out the granola and the yogurt, of course. I'm weighing my yogurt out. Let me talk to you a little bit. So in the app, if you adjust the grams on this, so you can either do it by, like, you can have a cup of this for 2 points. It's 170 grams is a serving, which is 3/4 of a cup. That will give you the 17 grams of protein. If you wanted to, you can make this down to 1 point, and by doing 120 grams will be 1 point. It's going to be less protein. It's going to probably bring it down to about maybe 15 grams, 14, 15 grams of protein. Or if you want more, you can actually go all the way up to 200 grams and still stay at 2 points. So it really depends on how much protein you want to, how hungry you are, how much protein. I plan on pairing this possibly with some sausages. So I'm going to see what 120 grams looks like and see if that looks to be enough. Oh, well, so this is 132 grams. So I really think I'm going to go for the 170 and just stick with that, or more, we'll see. Okay, so that's 179. So that's still staying within 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh all the rest of these out, and then we'll get with the granola. To crunch this up because it's kind of big, but I think I'm just going to weigh out You can actually have 32 grams for the same amount of points. So I'm gonna weigh out 32 grams of this. Like I said, I'm gonna crunch it up a little bit or I won't be able to get my lid on there. Well, we'll see if we can or not. Okay, so that's what 32 grams looks like, which is actually pretty good when you think about it as a small little bowl like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these done, then we'll cut up our strawberries and we'll put all of our bowls together. Okay, we're gonna put our strawberries on here. These strawberries are so good. Oh my goodness, they're so sweet. I love it when strawberries are just nice and ripe and sweet. I had these left over from last week and I wasn't sure if they were gonna still be good, but they are still amazing. So, remember last week I was doing apples with strawberries in my yogurt. It was really good too. So I think I'm gonna see if the lid will fit on top of these without me having to crunch these up, because I kind of was thinking that it might be nice to have kind of big chunks in there. And these are all exactly 32 grams. Oh yeah, I think we're perfect. So our nice little containers here. Like I said, I got these at Walmart. They're very cheap. They even have a little thing in the bottom where you can stack them on top of each other and see they stay clicked together. So super excited for these nice little yogurt cups. Here is an overview of everything that I prepped today. We have our chicken enchilada bowls. We have our pasta vegetable Alfredo sausage bowls, and then we have our granola and yogurt. And that is everything, you guys. I will have some links down below for the enchilada bake. I don't really have anything else to link, of course, but let me know what you're meal prepping this week. I always want to hear. Let me know what's on your meal plan, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.